Michigan doesn't play this weekend. Bye week, midpoint of the season, 6 games in, 6 more to go. And I think it's the perfect time to take some inventory. I don't believe they have a QB controversy. I think they have a QB dilemma. And how they handle it will be very telling. They've got 3 games left. I don't know if you've heard about these matchups, Gator. They're going to play some good football teams at the end of this season.
What?
So how they handle the QB room is fascinating to me. I don't like how they've done it so far. Because you've got J.J. McCarthy, who's clearly a big playmaker. And he's played sparingly and seemingly sporadically. Like he'll play a first and second down, then he'll come back in for a third or a fourth down later in the drive. He's only attempted 14 passes through the softer part of Michigan's schedule. And it's clear that Harbaugh knows he's talented. It's why he's trying to get him into the lineup.
Get his feet wet, yeah.
But it feels to me like they're treating him like a break glass emergency QB. In other words, if they find themselves down in one of these big games, Michigan State, Penn State, or Ohio State, Harbaugh's going to run to the back room, take that little mallet and break the glass and take out the shiny freshman quarterback who can make big plays. And what I don't like about that, Gator, is are you really setting yourself up for success when you go, guess what? We're down 10 to Michigan State who's pouring it on us. Good luck. Hey, it's a Buckeyes offense that you got to go shot for shot with. Good luck. You're entering the game down double digits. I don't like what Harbaugh's doing by admitting he's got a really talented freshman, but not getting him up to speed for when they're inevitably going to need him. The best teams in college football score points. Ohio State, Michigan State are going to score points. Penn State's got a big play receiver, and if their quarterback's healthy, they're going to score points. I don't like the idea that, well, if we can just 1997 this thing, we will. It's not 1997 anymore. They're going to need big-time production from the quarterback, and I think they've set themselves up to have 2 QBs that one in McNamara doesn't give you a lot of upside, and the other in McCarthy, you haven't given the chance to wet his feet. I don't know that they've set themselves up for success. It's why I think this is so critical this bye week and next week against Northwestern, that they figure out what exactly the plan is at quarterback. Because I don't even know if they have one, to be honest with you.
Well, look, I've been very critical of Jim Harbaugh. I'm no fan of Michigan football. But one thing I've said consistently about Harbaugh since he's been there is that he hasn't stuck with his guy. He just hasn't. He's always been looking for the next thing. Mm-hmm. What's the next shiny thing? Well, I'll go get and transfer quarterback. All right, well, no, we've recruited a highly recruited player. We got a transfer quarterback. Now what? Well, you should turn things over to the guy. No, I'm going to go get another transfer. I'm going to get another transfer. They kept doing it. Kept kicking the can down the road.
It's always the next guy.
Right. And now they've got a situation where Cade McNamara has played awfully well. I mean, he's managed the game. Look, they're 6-0. Okay? 5 of the 6 games, they've scored more than 30 points. They're putting points on the board. And now, of course, it's not all because of the passing game. We know this. But you don't need to have always have this great passing game. If you've got a great team, that's all that matters. And right now, they're playing well because they're not making mistakes. They're playing well because they're able to run the football, and they're relying on a really good defense because they have difference makers at all 3 levels of the defense.
They're trying to 1997 this, which was the formula that won them a national title. And I get why people romanticize run the ball and play defense. It's not what wins in college anymore.
Well, it can. It's just that I think that they also can throw the football with Cade McNamara if they want to.
Mixed results.
Mixed results because McCarthy has had a couple of big splash plays when he's been in there.
But it's not even about
games.
JJ playing. It's Cade underthrowing balls, wobbly passes.
There's no question about that. I'll agree there. But I think there's a reason that McCarthy hasn't gotten more of an opportunity is because they don't trust him just yet because they see him in practice. They know that he doesn't know the playbook all as well as he should. There have been misreads he's done with the read option play. And they want to make sure they're taking care of I think they've handled it fine. I think they've gotten him just feed him a little bit because I don't think.
What's the plan? Like, do you know do we have any idea
what the plan is? I don't know what the plan is. Here's what I see the plan to be. I'll tell you what I think it is.
Sure.
I think the plan is that Cade McNamara is the starting quarterback, period. And that you need to develop a backup quarterback in case Cade McNamara goes down with an injury. And so you've got this. Or if something happens, let's say you run into a situation where it's like Oklahoma and Spencer Rattler all of a sudden completely messes the bed, you need someone to come in. Well, thank God we've been bringing this guy along, and he can do it. But Cade McNamara is nowhere near what happened with Spencer Rattler.
Right,
it hasn't happened like that.
But Gator, I think that's an example worth exploring. Oklahoma was hesitant to play their superstar Caleb Williams because they had Spencer Rattler, a Heisman frontrunner, before the season.
Mm-hmm.
You might think Cade McNamara's done okay. He's not Spencer Rattler level of established to where you feel like, boy, we can't be considering other options.
Yeah, but again, this gets back to my whole point about always looking at the next thing instead of developing the guy that you have.
Is he good enough to win shootouts? Because you're going to need to win shootouts in college football.
Don't know. We haven't seen a shootout yet, and you don't want to get into a shootout.
You don't want to.
It's nice to be up by 3 touchdowns and not have to worry about that.
I agree, and it was nice when Michigan didn't trail for the first 5 games of the season, but that's not going to be the case. I mean, if you think they're just, and I'm not saying you think this, but if people believe they're going to just go through the second half of this schedule and turn around and run for 5 yards a pop and win every game playing from in front, I got news for you. There's really good football teams on the schedule. Teams that have better offenses than you do, more balanced and more explosive offenses. Both Michigan State and Ohio State. And I just look at those game scripts and I say, I don't know if you can make believe it's 1997. I don't think you can do that in 2021 and expect to win those games.
I'm not looking back to 1997. What I am looking at is what are they now? And they're winning games right now with Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy getting a few plays. And he's gotten more plays. It seems like each week they feed him a little bit more, give more opportunities. What I do think is strange is when they put him in. Putting him in for a play like on first down and then they take him out. That to me is weird, and that's one of my reasons why I'm not a big Harbaugh guy. But I'm looking at this situation with the quarterbacks, and it feels to me an awful lot like, is it 1999 at Michigan when they had Tom Brady and they also had Drew Henson. Drew Henson was the guy that had all the pedigree. Tom Brady wasn't. Brady was the better quarterback. Drew Henson was the guy that everybody needed to see because he was number 1 recruit quarterback. He's an amazing 2-sport athlete. We got to see him play. And in the end, Brady was the better quarterback in college and obviously in pros, but he was better than Drew Henson was. And I think fans at Michigan are getting all caught up in the flash that you see from J.J. McCarthy because you read, oh, he's a 5-star quarterback. Look, he throws a deep ball so well. And look at McNamara. What's he doing? He missed another receiver over there. Meanwhile, they're undefeated. Now, at some point, let's say the big test for Michigan is coming up October 30th against Michigan State.
Yep.
Up in East Lansing. Now, if they're down by a couple scores, would I entertain the thought of we need to get McCarthy in the game? Absolutely. But I think it goes by game by game. Now, they'll have an opportunity because they've got all this time right now with the
That's
the
why
bye
I bring
week.
it up. It's the perfect time to kind of take inventory.
The real perfect time is going against Northwestern. If you should blow out Northwestern if you're Michigan, right? You look at this, you should win by several scores. Give McCarthy a chance to play in that game, meaningful snaps in the first half, as well as maybe some opportunity in the second half.
And not 1 or 2 snaps and then run to the sideline,
yeah.
but actually go through progressions in the pocket. Yeah,
because
you do want to know.
Yeah, you want to know, and it also will put some pressure on McNamara.